Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome into Flying with Mike. Sitting on the tarmac here at Ontario, California, one of UPS's, I guess we call it a hub, uh, one of their sort areas. We are preparing to fly to Seattle. And in Flying with Mike tradition, we're not going to SeaTac. We're going to one of the other airports. Actually, it's the one UPS prefers to use, Boeing Field. So just north, mind you, of SeaTac, but still not SeaTac. So we'll see how that jives up there. But anyway, we are lined up here, ready to go. As those of you in our Discord community know, yesterday, well, if you were part of the stream yesterday, you know we had some troubles. We made that fateful mistake and decided to get '06 betas, and Flight Factor is just not liking it. And hearing it's a laminar issue, and I'm also hearing it's a Flight Factor issue. You know, the blame game. No, it's his fault. No, it's their fault. No, it's somebody we don't even know's fault. But anyway, so we pulled the trigger, did an aircraft swap over to the Tolis A319. For realism, switched it from STL over to Mid-American. I want to get that straight, folks. I have no idea if one, the new version of the sim affects my St. Louis scenery. Um, Actually, I shouldn't say mine. The scenery I downloaded. I switched because Allegiant doesn't go into St. Louis. They go to our airport. I thought, what the heck, we'll go into our airport instead. So I want to make sure people are clear on that in case that kind of came out like, are you having a problem with scenery too? We don't know. We haven't tried. But that is not the reason for the destination change. All right. Today, we're still on tap for the Rotate MD-11. Mind you, within the last 30 minutes, as I was prepping the sim, you in the Discord community now know, lo and behold, there was another beta update. We're up to beta 3. So we're all testing this out together. This is my first look at it, at the little nuance changes, and it could very well just be changes to help Flight Factor, or Flight Factor changing to help itself with who knows. We're not getting back into that circular circle. So we're going to go give this bird a try and let the chips fall where they fall, if they fall. Unless, of course, it's that loose nut behind the wheel that caused the chips to fall, which, hey, we can't ever rule that out. All right, so there it is, folks, the Rotate MD-11. Interested in it, folks? I do have a link for you. Just head over to there, and I don't even know what it's going for today, but you can get your grubby little paws on it and fly it to your heart's content, and you will, like me. You know, everyone says it's difficult to learn this panel. Well, if you know Airbus, you've got about 2/3 of the way through the problem. If you don't know Airbus, well, I can't help you. You'll have to watch, because we're pretty much, due to all the trouble, we're going to have to start this thing up. I'm hoping to get it off the ground pretty quick. You all saw it in the opening scene loading before the commercial break. So that portion is done. And all we have left to do is climb aboard and fire it up. Now, I do have some basic things set up we'll go over, but it is like the first 5 steps, and that's where we stopped. Because I really, really wanted to get this thing going on time. All right, so let's pop up into the office area. You can tell, oh, he's got the battery on it, at least. Let's get up to the overhead. See, folks, a very similar look to Airbus. Those of you that don't know what I'm talking about are like, no, it looks like an MD-11 to me. Open up an Airbus panel and take a look. You're going to be freaked out. So, anyway, so like I said, if you learn an Airbus, becomes very easy to understand. Okay, so we put the battery on. We already the external power, by the way, is by this plug-in, same one that we loaded with. One trick, one key piece, and I'm not sure the truth behind this. Hang on a second. All right. When you load this aircraft into Load Manager, you'll put your total payload in, your block fuel. Don't forget your trip fuel, otherwise you don't get your landing weight down here. But make sure, don't go for this number. You got to make sure the takeoff CG, which I think is this band, that item, between 30 and 31% MAC. Don't know the validity to this, but for some reason, if it's not there, I don't know what happens. It may tip. I don't know. The aircraft, I have seen pictures of it tipped. So I don't know. Just so you know. So when you load, as you can see, we got 176,000 pounds of payload. We got block fuel of 60,700. We plan to taxi with 2,000 pounds, and our trip fuel 36,000. By the way, today's alternate is Portland. We'll get into that here shortly. But I just wanted to point this out. Then you come over, well, you could do as it says here, click here. Or I like to come over here, turn my ground power on, make sure my wheel chocks are in, put the stairs to the plane. There's my fuel request. There's my load the aircraft, which you watched that nice little animation happening. I mean, it's okay to a point, but the problem is, impress me, folks, if you're going to do it. Actually put the bins in the bay. We go back right now. You saw them go in. They're not there. That's my one of many pet peeves, and there is one that I always get a good laugh on. But anyway, so we got the cockpit door open and the 3 main doors down below. The main door opens and closes when you click load aircraft. Okay, so that's where we are now. Let's continue a little further. I want to go ahead and bring us up on the APU. And while that's flashing, it is doing its little opening the hatch back there, doing its pre-checks, and then firing up. When it becomes solid green avail, we'll be able to use it. But we can continue on. Cockpit lighting, we were just working on. We've already done the annunciator test. By the way, folks, that took me a while to find. It's actually right here. Okay. I don't remember if up here. The other thing I can't remember was where the fire bottles are tested. I got a feeling it's like right in front of me right here, and I'm not seeing it, but it's not being seen. Do a test of our CVR. We'll turn these in just a minute. I'm waiting for us to get on power, get the air system on. All right, there you go. It just came online. So we'll come down here, bring the APU power or air on. And we're good. Lights are now off. Hydraulic pumps we'll get to later. All right, so with the air system on, isolations 1, 2, and 2, 3 are good. And we're ready for them to go to nav. Now we're going to get a cargo fire check here, so stand by. We'll go ahead. That's why I moved up. That is so lame. Again, another reason, not one of my favorite airplanes here, folks. I'm going to go and turn this up. We'll turn it back down if we need to. Now, it won't happen as you go through the rest. So 2, 3. And the only thing, it's not telling me anything here, folks. Are we in a line? Are we not? What's going on here? Are we available on battery? You know, things like that. So there, the Airbus part is not with it. So you Boeing heads can breathe a sigh of relief. Oh, it's not an Airbus. All right, so with the emergency switch to ARM, we're gonna get our initialization of the McDo/FMC setup. You're like, oh my God, did he just use that word? I sure did. Another pet peeve of mine, and it doesn't stick on this plane only. Zebo has it too. I don't like that you can't, in a simulator, pop up the FMCs. I can hear you real heads going, well, the real plane, they can't do it, so why should you in this? The real plane doesn't have this little 19, 20, 25, 50, 60-inch screen to look at. They have the whole airplane they can look at. Even you guys in VR can't do it. So, that's a pet peeve of mine. All right, so let's align the IRS like it's asking. See what I mean? Starting to look a lot like that McDo, isn't it, folks? That's because it is. All right, so we'll check our statuses. The MD-11, active from July 13 to August 10, 23. Perfect, we're good. Let's go to F plan. Where have we seen that before? See what I mean? If you know the Airbus, folks, you got this. You got half the battle done here. All right, so let's press on. We are only going to check the aircraft status, which we did. We're going to put in our route. The only thing it doesn't do right now that that Flight Factor does, TOLUS does, is an init request here. That's the big thing it doesn't do. And of course the F plan, okay, technically this is under init, so it's not here. However, we can go KONT / Kilo Bravo Fox India. Oh, you gotta put a kilo in there, Mike. Kilo Bravo Fox Lima. Okay, the from to, and then initialize IRS position ref. Okay, and it is now doing its little stuff behind the scenes. Now we'll pull up again to the overhead. Actually, let's come right here. Push down pretty hard here because I don't like that this is where it's at. Now I know that's where the engineers put it in the real plane. It would really have been nice like Airbus does up here. So there you go again, Boeing heads, something that's not Airbus. So we'll push back up. We're going to do a hydraulic test. Bear with me, folks. It's been a while, so. Somehow I don't think that's it. Hang on, I gotta remember. I thought it was a simple button. All right, let me all right, I am gonna have to default out and get the manual, so stand by. For some reason I'm drawing a blank on it and I don't know why. And that is not what I wanted. Doggone it. That's the one I wanted. Duh, tutorial flight. Pre-flight. Good. Time for a good break. I need it. All right. Oh, dang it. Now I told you it was right in front of me. Right in front of me, folks. Oh, the whole time. That doesn't look right. Oh my gosh, it's because I was in the wholly wrong place. All right, subscribers, you're the ones that got to hear all that. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope you enjoyed that. What a way to enjoy it. Watching Flying with Mike stumbling because he's looking at the wrong panel the whole time. I'm looking at the fuel panel instead of the hydraulics. Ah! All right. We'll just wait so they can enjoy as well too. We're just about out of it, so about another 30 seconds. But again, subscribers, hey, you never know what you're going to run across. YouTube's going to definitely get to see all of this. Same with you guys. So welcome to Flying with Mike. And like I said, every bit of this will be up there, folks. So YouTube is where you want to be to catch what you miss in commercial breaks. So again, subscribers, thank you for going that extra mile. We really appreciate it here. Those of you on YouTube, there's a special extra for you, and those of you coming out of the commercial break missing all that fun. Yeah, Flying with Mike was looking at the wrong panel. That's why he couldn't find the simple button that said, hey, look, it says hydraulic pressure test. And I did it again. Dang it. Okay, there we go. So we are getting a little bit of that offset with the mouse. Not as bad. We'll test out offline, off stream, the A320 later, maybe today, maybe this weekend, to see what's going on. All right, but back down here, what does this do? It's going to charge up each of the systems. And why isn't it not charging yet? There it goes. Okay, the hydraulic pumps are coming on now. So basically what you're looking for is first to make sure you have at least hang on, I'm on the wrong page here on my PDF. I hate this new Adobe. Just so Adobe, if you're listening, can hear it. 5.3 gallons, which we've got in all of them. And you see how it's charging each system up here. We're just waiting for the next one to go. There it goes, firing up. It's also checking when the alarm goes up, when pressures drop below a certain number. They'll fall off here on the middle. And then once both of those have done, there's the auxiliary pump 3 will do its thing. But that's the hydraulic pressure check. That took us forever. All right, now we need to set up comm radio setup. This was the one I'm a little fearful of, not because of what's going on with the new SIM and all. It's that I get everything set up right. So I've got the mic on. Hang on. There we go. We should be good now. Technically, I could go over here and do this. Theoretically, these the X-Pilot client for VATSIM will show the transmit receive buttons now look right instead of darkened like they are when they're not active. That's how you get COM 1, COM 2. So you got to make sure, 1, your mic is on, 2, click on the actual button to lift it up and then turn it up. We haven't had enough time on it to find out if that volume button really works, where you can turn it up and down. Really works well in the Fearless. What is the other one we've used it in? Tolus? Or was it Flight Factor 767? There's another aircraft. They are dynamite, folks. You get those guys that think they have to be heard in China sitting in New York City. They really do help out. I thought that was supposed to be eliminated, but obviously people find ways around software. Kind of annoyed me when I was a truck driver too. All right, glare shield setup. Test is off, okay. Real quick here, what we're going to do is make sure we're in inches, which is, hang on, let's do this right. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of the wheel. Zoom back down. All right, so we are in inches. If for some reason, which we had to in a stream before, the button that took us a while back then to find, hang on, let's do it this way. Took us a little bit to find, to switch it over to the HEPA, where they use the 4 digits instead of 30.0 whatever, is right here. We had a hard time remembering it's right there. While I'm here, let's get the panel lights turned up. The inside light, folks, are floodlights, which would come on. You see them right there. We'll leave it a little dimmer. Okay, next up, we want to make sure our minimums are A. 200. And altimeter set for our location. Uh, 3003. I think I have it set up, folks, to go to the other side. Let's check them real quick. See why it gets in the way. Okay, so we got that all set up. now ND heading mag. Okay, so you want to make sure you're reading HD mag. Okay, that can be changed, and your bank angle set to auto, which is right here. And the easiest way to see that, folks, hang on, is scroll up. See that? I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to kind of get over it. Right where auto is, that line, you see that little caret in the, or notch? That's where it's set at. So it's currently set properly. Okay, and then literally that is, we skipped some stuff. Hang on a second here. Sure did. Man, we're way... Oh, here we go. I got ahead of myself. That's what it was. Okay, now we go into the final setup of the McDo here. So we want to put in our flight number, which will go here. UPS 1000. We want to put in alternate KPDX. Scotland. Cruise today. 36,000. I may have made, I'll have to go look. 36,000. Cruise. Now, if you had others, you could put them in there. Although I don't get how you would delineate along the way, but it is what it is. Temperatures. Okay, now this one gets kind of difficult. Headwinds and all of that. However, let me just check before I say when we do this that it's going to work. First off, let me just... No, so I'm just going to leave it. Oh, what do we got? Our wind today, 209. So technically a bit of a tailwind for today at 9. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that. I really don't know much in this one. Cruise index, though, or cost index, that I know, 200, I believe. Just in case the system messed with me, a CI 200. All right, then we push over to page 2. Again, just like we're all used to. And what you do here, if memory serves, is click. 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 And click. And clear. And that gets you set up for your block. That is correct. Your takeoff and 0 fuel weight. Takeoff, 0 fuel. Missed it. Takeoff, 0 fuel. Landing weight shows here. Takeoff CG. And now that's weird because it should have been different. So we'll see what happens. Let's just do it just to be safe. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, that's what it's calling it. There's our 0 fuel weight. Okay, next we go to F plan. Because we don't have that init function. Now, I could have put a company route in, folks, and that would have filled most of this in. I'll just put them in. It's not a tough route. Okay, but we'll start with Ontario. SID First thing up is our runway, which is 26 left. Hang on a second. That's fine. You know what? I think this is the proper time to do our pre-flight. So hang on, bear with me a second. Didn't get Sim Toolkit all set up yet. Just need to put the route in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. Try to do this real quick. Here comes, hang on, Sim Toolkit. All right. So with Sim Toolkit, I'm up on Sky Vector. So there's our route from here to Boeing Field up here. Granted, it's showing Seattle Metro. Anyway, we're going above it, just above it. All right, there's our routing, Sunshine 5 to, is that again? Memory is not working today, folks. Shafter, VOR. Then we're going up here to LKV, which is Lakeview. Get on the airway to Battleground, which is, oddly enough, Portland, if you didn't know that. And then we start our arrival. Okay. We didn't do that. Interesting. All right. We don't need that in there. And we'll be doing the Ulm, I believe it is 5 arrival, something like that. We'll get to that. All right. Pull Sky Vector out of here. Okay, you can see the initial for the departure here. Here's our routing. Ulm 2, by the way, is our arrival for Boeing Field. Okay, real quick weather. Ontario, calm winds, 10-mile visibility, few clouds, 14, 19,000. We'll see how that represents. We have not seen a good representation of few scattered and all. That could be because of other reporting stations around. I thought about that after the stream, and that came to mind. So, but a beautiful day, 23 degrees Celsius. So then up here in Seattle, clear skies, 17 degrees and 10 miles visibility, calm wind at Boeing Field. So beautiful day. Loadout today. We got 19 souls that have signed their NDAs. They'll be on the plane here in a moment. And of course, the Rampies put on 176,000 pounds of cargo, 60,700 pounds of fuel. And we're going to go with a cost index you've already seen of 200 and our initial 36,000. And that will be our climb out. All right, nav graph. Talked about it yesterday. Let's unload yesterday's flight. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it so it doesn't confuse us. So how do I get a route in here? Captain Mac, I want to say thank you for showing me this. I never knew this thing was here, and I've used this both Charts 8 and past, iterations of it. Didn't know that. Click Import Flight. Import from SimBrief. We'll take this latest one up here, and poof, it puts it on there for you. And like I said yesterday, loads up your arrival and departure. There's our departure. Speaking of which, we're going to take off 26 left here on the Sunshine, I think it's called. Yeah, Sunshine 5. SoCal departure of our airport's 944 feet. Transition. If you don't know, in the United States, it's 18,000, folks. You do now. All right, directions basically fly 258 to 1,460 feet. Direct dink. Then 274 to Pomona, VOR, almost called it Palmdale. At or below 8,000, which is kind of weird because you need to be on the climb because you got 12,000 foot mountains staring you down. That's kind of weird. And then track 300 to Sunshine. Then on to transition, maintain 23,000. Expect filed altitude 10 minutes after departure. And so there you have it. So it goes from here to Dink to Sunshine to right on up inland. See, at or above 14. So you got a 16-mile haul of a steep climb. Then you're over the mountains, and then you can kind of ease off it. So, yeah. Quite interesting that, yeah, you only got about 20 miles, folks. And that's to Neeland. I mean, that's not talking to right here. So, anyway, so there you have it, folks. The pre-brief and NavGraph departure. Here's where we are on the airport right now, over in the UPS area. We'll come out on Yankee, straight up to Whiskey, and hold short, take off, and boogly woogly our way that way. Okay, so we said 26 left, Sunshine, Shafter. The only thing it doesn't do that most Airbuses does is tell you 26 left, Sunshine, they do it in a more systematic way. However, we click insert and it just put it all in there. All right, so from EFF, we need, and I am just going to start pumping these in, LKV. LKV. Airway. Juliet 67. Battle Grip. And then Star. Oh, Lord have mercy. Did I do that? I sure did. It's BFI, right? I hope this works. Usually you gotta redo everything. Yep. Dang it. All right, folks. Well, you caught me in a mistake I made. Just caught it here as we were going through. LKV. And we're going to go Joliet 6, 7. I'll explain the error here in just a second. I'm hoping we're not going to run into problems. Not to say we won't now. Okay. So we're coming in. This is where I caught it, by the way. We're coming in 4 right. You all still have some toolkit up. Okay. You didn't get to see any of that. Stupid me. Hang on a second. We're going to use it real quick and then I'll explain it all. My apologies again. Go here. See what we got for ILS. Okay, so we can come off Seattle, hit Isker, do a quick procedure turn back in. Or let's see what the RNAVs yield. Alright, they're not going to help. So, we'll just add that to the route. Alright, so what we're going to do is overfly Seattle and head up. And do the procedure turn and come in. Right. Okay, real quick, what I'm showing you here, we selected from here the OLS 2 select off the battleground VOR select, and it's going to head up here to the ILS 14 right, Seattle transition insert. Okay, so what we did is we went into Ontario. You all couldn't see this, so selected SID and then selected our Sunshine and Shafter VOR transition. Then coming down, hang on a second here, folks. Okay, just reading quickly. So we'll go up from Fort. All right, we're going to leave it as is, but anyway. So here's our routing. To Sunshine's there, Lakeview. Here we clicked Airways, put in on the left side our airway, Juliet 67. On the right side we put in BTG, Battleground VOR, just north of Portland's International Airport. Okay, and then you saw us put in the OM 2 arrival off Battleground. Now what this is saying, okay, when we get to Fort, we have to turn almost due north, follow it up the channel there, and then we'll turn in on the ILS. We'll see how that works out when we get there. I may be able to cancel this out. We'll see. I'm going to leave it in there for now. All right, so with that in there, my goodness, we're now behind schedule. Sorry about that, folks. We got the route. Okay, I meant to get Top Cat running, and I did not. Okay. Good enough. All right. Let me bring Top Cat in. We haven't seen it in a couple flights because really for the Airbuses it doesn't work well. But Top Cat is a great tool here, folks. All we got to do is put in nothing there, 176 or whatever our zero fuel weight is. 438,247. Boy, that was actually pretty easy. 438,247. Okay, pretty simple. Granted, there should have been 19 up here. Also, throw the fuel in real quick. 36 to wait a minute. 60,688. 2,000 for the taxi, and our en route burn is 36258. Getting all of that data from the sim brief documents. Okay. Now, once you put your all this information in, go to the takeoff page, and we're going to go 26 left, 10,000 foot runway. Dry. Well, we're going to find out. Let's do a quick update, and still the same. So calm winds 25, 3003. It is dry, and we don't have any inoperative items. We could edit those if we did. We're not going to use anti-ice on takeoff. We will use the packs. We're going to do an optimum flight. This is where I get my laugh, folks. So stand by. You're going to enjoy this. Compute. If you haven't noticed already, folks, flaps 19. That's pretty specific. That's where the joke comes in. Well, to me, you may, humor is in the eye of the beholder, I guess. Okay, let me see where we are in the checklist real quick. All right, so now we go to takeoff and approach. Let me see if I can't maneuver this a little better so you can see. I think I am. Okay. Yeah, you should be able to see now. So we're going to go to takeoff. Okay. Looking here at the chart, you can see we have flex. Remember that word, Airbus guys? Yeah. Sorry, Boeing. Now we're back in Airbus. Here's the fun thing. Flexing means we're not running at 100+% power on those engines, trying to save the wear and tear on them because they are the most expensive items on a plane, and you want them to make it to their inspection points without any major work needing to be done. Okay, so we pull the power back. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, if we went right now at 25 degrees, which is what it is outside, and went for takeoff power, it's 111% on that N1 blades. See how we're pulling it back here? However, at the expense of how much runway we're going to leave. I'd like to go 55. Okay, so let's flex 55. I hate this part. There we go. Also, because it's very hard to read my checklist. Then we want to put the flaps in. That's what I'm looking. Okay, flaps here. Says 19. Weird number. You'll see how that's translated to the panel here in a minute. And then slope and wind. Currently the wind is calm. Slope. See what they got. Let's do that. up 0.1 slash okay. Outside air temperature to 5. Okay, and it is going to give us V speeds. And let's look at what we got here. 148 to 150. It's saying 143. 161 to rotate. Or 160. That's not bad. 170 though for that. I am going to go ahead and plug them in. And they are magenta right now. Cool. All right, I was looking in the wrong spot the other way. Okay, now we're done with the McDo. Wait a minute. Yeah, we're done with the McDo now. So we've confirmed our V speeds. I'm going to set this one on F plan for now. Okay, let's get our final setup here going. We want to set up for traffic. Okay, traffic. We want to set up for data, VOR1 and VOR2. Let's do the same thing over here. Okay. And folks, that leads us to engine start finally after 58 minutes. And the screw up that happened, folks, when I put in the initial, I put BFL as in Lima. That is actually incorrect. Caught it because my star didn't show up. It's actually Kilo Bravo Fox India. My bad. Really bad. That was really bad. Whew. All right. But again, that's why we have 2 people in the cockpit, so that got caught. Would have gotten caught quicker. Okay. I am going to try something today. Something new. And I'll show it kind of to you, but knowing that it may not work fully. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Hang on. There we go. Once it comes up, I'll put it up in front of us. Actually, I won't be able to disregard that last statement. Okay, let me pull Top Cat out of here. It'll take too much to get it up at this point. I'm trying out the new Smart Cars 3 with Mac Air, Millennium Aviation. Won't be able to do one step, and I'm not worried that I'm not able to. And that's the sim brief step, because I don't like the way it comes up. Sorry guys at Mac Air, I don't like it. Wrong one. Just clicked on the flight that I was going to try to fly last night and didn't. Let's see how this works. And this may not be working. It may actually require it to be a 767. Okay, we will not be able to use it. Bummer. This first flight with it, folks. Hey, Bound to have trouble. Oh, didn't want to do that. This one I can run as an administrator. Again, firsts of a lot of things, and that was a quick failure. I was going to test it last night, just too tired. And even though it was an hour hop, I didn't test it. All right, so here we go. We're just waiting on the old way to do it, Smart Cars 2. Hello, Smart Cars 2. There you lights. And boom. And generate a load. We're running what that'll be good enough. Cruise altitude 6 odd. Okay. Route 1 last time. Sim brief. Really cannot believe I did that. All right, and on to sunshine generated. Start. Hey, we started. All right, well, we'll get back to them on what the heck is going on with the version 3 another day and time. All right, and we are in commercial break, so I will hold engine start till we get out of that. That'll give me time to confirm we are indeed on the map. All right, subscribers, again, thank you. Thank you so much for coming along, supporting us in the ways you do. We sure appreciate it. And last month was all about you and all of our other pilots. So again, thank you so much. All right. Shield hydraulic test. I think I can go. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see where we are. Got about 47 seconds to go, folks, so we'll wait, and then we're going to go, because we've been an hour on the ground, running late. Oh, we're taking this time. Let me come up on VATSIM. All right, folks, welcome back, and we're just wrapping up a couple things here to get online and get the engines cranked up. As soon as I get the word flight plan's been filed. Okay, coming up. Connect to UPS 1000 MD. All right, folks, and you can see we're now connected. Albuquerque Center, we're just going to let it filter for just a second here. Making sure nobody in the area here is online. Looks like we're clear to go. All right, folks. Again, we were not able to use the Smart Cars 3. We'll have to get with them and figure out what did I do wrong, and is it even possible for me to use it? By the way, the latter, yeah, it's possible. All right, so parking brake set. All right, first thing first, let's get up here, close up our cargo doors. And okay, the doors are beginning to show open. And that's what we need last. Okay, everything, sorry for the, I can hear people go, man, my head's spinning how fast that was moving around. Okay. All right, let's get up top here. Window defog on. Seat belts. Okay, beacon on. Emergency lights to arm. Okay, doors, windows closed, fuel panel set and looks good. Air panel good, hydraulics good. Call for pushback. All right. We have had some troubles with this. That is another one of my problems. We're going to get to the flap thing here shortly. We're not to setting flaps yet. But let's try better pushback. We're just doing it very simple.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
If y'all didn't see it, I did. The air stair is still there. Okay, we're going to go around the airplane kind of quick again, folks. Chocks are the only thing remaining, as is the external power. All right, we are set to go. By the way, if you're curious, parking brake.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Clear to connect. All right, so ready to push back when he calls. We'll do a couple things, and then we'll get into this contraption they call flaps in the MD-11. Okay, let's check our transponder real quick. Get that.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, with that call, we are ready to push back. Going to go here, tilt down a little. Meant to tilt down, not. Well, anyway, that'll work. Hydraulic pump on. Transponder, and we'll release brakes.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, to start engines, select A or B here. Go B. Okay. APU bleed on. Engines verified ready. Pushback started. We'll start engine 3, then 2, or I'm sorry, then 1, then 2. Engine 3 is starting. I'm going to let it build. It's doing that crazy thing. We may have to cancel it. Got real crazy with this when I first did this with better pushback, and it's still kind of not doing it right, but we'll see how it ends up. End result is all that matters.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, now number 1. Okay, we're above and fuel on. I turned the wrong switch.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Be careful, as you just saw, folks. I actually hit the wrong. And thanks for flying with Mike. Sure appreciate you, and show us the planes. Thank you much. Pens out. Good to go. And of course, okay, and we'll get stable. Now let's do number 2. See, what we did is we actually turned this one instead of this one off. That's why I couldn't. Why are we going for fuel? What do I have here? And it's that loose nut behind the wheel was the problem. There we go. And see, there was an instant how the EGT just leaped into action. It didn't happen. That's why. Did I do wrong? All right, folks, we are cranked up and slowly getting ready to taxi. I know, long time there, but we'll hopefully make up for it with a flight here. All right, so after start, we want to make sure the windshield defog is off, and it is. The DFDR, I don't know what it completely stands for, but that's basically your parking brake, I figured out. Anti-ice says required air panel. We'll see here. Okay, air panel. Turn off the AP lead. Should bring all our engines to bear. Go. Pack 2 is on flow. Okay, hydraulic panel. It's up here, folks. This is where we got hung up once. There's your test, by the way. Looks good. Fuel looks good too. Hydraulic pumps checked, set, bleeds on, ground equipment clear. Check that and kill the AP. Takeoff data will reconfirm, receive the announcement. Stabilizer trim. Okay. This is going to come from your McDo's. So let me do it this way. Stab trim is 4.3. Okay. So we need stab trim to read 4.3 right here. Okay. Takeoff data. Okay, let's confirm. It's good. And flaps. All right, you've all been waiting for this. All right, so how the heck do you get 19 on this aircraft? Well, you gotta hit dial a flap. That's right, you heard me, dial a flap. 1-800 dial a flap. No, don't try it. See, it's right here. This is where I get it. Dial a flap. It's right here, folks. So you just got to move this to read 19. Oh my gosh. It cracks me up, folks. It really does. I know, maybe not you, but me, it does. A sophisticated airliner, and that's what we've reduced it to. Oh boy. So, flaps going to 19. Now, I've heard a couple people having troubles with the spoilers. How do you arm them? I did for a couple of flights too, folks. This won't do it. Now, this will move it down there and move it back up, but it will not arm your flaps. What you have to do is get the little hand, lift up, and then you're armed. I know, really crazy. Stab trim set, auto brake. Let's come back in. Go to TO. And folks, I think we are ready to go. Exterior lights, taxi, off we go. See, that DFDR went away. Okay, and before takeoff data will check, auto flight will hit, EAD checked, make sure nothing here. Hydraulic panels, air panel, cabins ready, and radar transponder set and ready. Another thing I'm not happy with, folks, you saw me turn the lights on. Do you see them? No. Now that probably still an X-Plane 12, but now I think it's starting to get on you developers. Rotate, guys. You might want to look at your software. Because other aircraft I had trouble with this. Once the people behind the software went into it, all of a sudden it became visible. So, I don't know, just little old me. All right, one last run before takeoff. Takeoff data is confirmed. Auto flight. We'll hit that. Okay, and probably have to do it again. And folks, the reason my rotates always take so long is, folks, I don't fly this plane very often. It's not one of my favorites, that's why. So I am very rusty. All right, we'll hold here, let the commercials run. Folks, good time for a break, and we'll be right back with you in 1 minute, 40 seconds. All right, folks, we're beginning to come out of the commercial break, new introduction code. Where do I buy add-ons? Well, most of the time, sir. Let me reply here to code JKD. Where do I buy add-ons? Very simple. I go to the Orc store, and that's where most of it, this one, can be found right there. And you can find the rotate, the toll list, the flight factors, pretty much everything I fly, I get right from there. So it is web. So, and I don't fly Xbox or anything like that, folks, so I wouldn't even begin to know what you do for that. Matter of fact, don't even own one. I know I can go, oh, what? In this day and age? Yeah, I don't believe in them, sorry. All right, so we're off we go. Let's get the rest of the lights on. Go to lights. Okay, rest of the checklist real quick. Get some power going. Auto flight EAD. Make sure nothing's down there on the notepad. Nope. Exterior lights, heading, air, cabin, radar. We're ready. Ontario traffic. UPS 1000 heavy, departing 26 left. Get up here, get those strobes. I'll hit the right button yet, folks, I promise. Well, it's the only way I know how to get stuff. Yeah. And to get X-Plane, to get Microsoft, you had to go on the web to get them. So,
UPS 1000, what adder are you using for your MD-11?
We are using the rotate for our X-plane.
Oh, you're on X-plane. Okay, gotcha.
Come on over to the light. It's much better than the dark side.
Yeah, I have it installed. I'm just getting around to getting everything set up. But I'll be over there eventually.
Awesome. Ontario, we're departing 26 left, UPS 1000. All right, let's see if I've done everything right. More than likely not. We're on our way, folks, so they say. There's V1. Rotate. All right, let's see how we're doing here, folks.
Stabilizer motion.
And we're not doing well.
Stabilizer motion. Stabilizer motion. Stabilizer motion.
Okay, let's get some flaps up.
Stabilizer motion.
Okay, I think, well, we got the nav part going. And we'll see if it stops at 36,000. And no, we're not going to stay below 8,000. We're going to continue up. I want to clear these mountains. Thank you very much. Granite cumulate does not ever feel good. But I will say the scenery from 11 to 12 doesn't look much different to me, and I don't mean to be insulting, but I think it did improve a little. But obviously the star that improved is right here in the clouds. We just must be getting to 10,000. They have improved greatly. A lot more room to improve, but they are doing great. So let's get the after takeoff going here. So gear is up, 4 lights off. Let's make sure the air panel, which is right here, everything is in auto, as well as the fuel and hydraulics. And the EAD, which is this panel or this item here. And we'll get the rest of this here in just a second. Config. That's the one I want. Actually, no, it's not. Let me see if there's a better one. I guess that is going to do it. Oh, sorry, folks, as I try to hit the right button. I really don't care about the, honestly, folks, I don't care about the brakes when I'm in the air. Guess we'll leave it on engine. Yeah, we'll have to leave it there. Yeah, we'll have to leave it. So there you go, folks. Let me see how we're doing. All right, lights need to come off. I know those of you with other sims would say, well, ours looks much better. Yeah, but I'm looking mostly in here, folks. Okay. All right, air, rates, fuel. All right, so we are on our way, folks. Really, really good looking clouds. Let's look out the other side. All right, folks, there you go. We are over the mountain range that's our Int'l. Welcome, welcome, welcome in, sir. Glad to have you aboard. We're heading up to Boeing Field in Seattle. So far, so good. By the way, this is X-Plane 1206, and yes, Beta 3. Hit me right as I logged on this morning. I was like, another delay. So far, so good, though. Either later today or this weekend, I'll test out how Flight Factor is doing with it. We'll see if anything related to them got fixed. It doesn't take long to figure it out. It really doesn't. But they've done some really good work with it. I was really shocked when it took forever, you know, does the how many files you have gets done. I didn't really pay attention to how big the install was, and all of a sudden I said, okay, continue. Done. I'm like, huh? That was quick. Did you actually do anything? We'll find out. But it looks good. So far, so good. Good test. Let's bring in AFTAB. Well, I think we're doing pretty good for rotate. I think we got a little lower, actually, with 05. So I think we're doing pretty good there. Let's go ahead and put the map up. Let's go there. That way we have a little bit of an idea of where we are. Over here, by the way, folks, Lancaster, Palmdale is Edwards Air Force Base. So if you're all ever curious. Also over here in Victorville, huge commercial graveyard of aircraft. So yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Okay, let's get down here because I am sure I can't remember, can we? Okay, good, we can. And engines are looking good. Climb. Okay. All right, folks. The interesting thing, though, if you watch over time, your windscreen gets dirty. I just happened to notice that a few flights back. I thought that was kind of interesting. So, we are on our way, folks. Alright, we'll just put some music on in the background as we climb on out, and hope you all enjoy the ride. I see that loose nut behind the wheel got loose again. Forgot to put up the overlay for a Sim Toolkit. About an hour and a half to go, folks. How that got moved, but it did. Alright, so there we go. A lot of things weird that happened when I did that C-130 flight that still fixing to this day. I like watching this to make sure everything's gonna hold.
Stabilizer motion.
Okay, so far so good. Oh, that would have been awesome there, Answick. Yeah, anytime. I got one flight I need to get with somebody to find out when's a good time for them. So, get through these commercials real quick for those that are able to hear my voice, and then we'll just repeat that real quick. Can't remember if Answick is a subscriber or not. So, got about another 30 seconds. All right, looks like we're holding pretty good here. All right, folks, welcome back. Inswick. Yeah, would have been great to have flown with you today. At setup time, we will. I got another follower that's wanting me to. He wants to take a 747. Love to see what ideas he had. I remember it was somewhere in Texas, if memory serves right. I'd love to get that flight and get it going. All right, so we are over. Should be Bakersfield right below us. That was a harder turn than I expected. Looking at that contrail, folks. Wow. All right, folks, we are on our way. Just passed off Shafter and headed to Lakeview. It's showing us about a 425-mile run, and we are in cruise. There are no step climbs for this respectively short-haul flight. So yeah, we're just kind of back in cruise. We'll get with y'all in about an hour or so as we get closer to Lakeview and start looking at that arrival. It's a little bit not tricky, but a little unique, if we'll put it that way. So, for how we plan to attack the arrival. So. And of course, as I always love to say, we could have the best plans and intentions set up to make our arrival into Seattle, and VATSIM comes up. Well, they go right out the same window you were working with. So, let's take a look up. All right, so a little bit of, I mean, it's summertime weather out there, folks. I'm looking at SimWare, which probably is not much different than pulling up Sim Toolkit. These smattering of storms out here, pretty typical this time of the year. We've got this long train of rain coming over us here in St. Louis. So the word drought in the city, in the area of St. Louis, probably fading. Now, not to say you get out into this part of Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, you very well may say the word drought. But can see that's where the rain, I mean, it's just been, July has just been super wet. It started off super dry, and then the floodgates can't close. So farmers gonna love it so long as it stops, giving the fields time to dry out as well as the crops. So there you have kind of a national look for those of you in the States, even though I know most of y'all are up in Europe in points well east of us. Okay, we are going to fly towards Reno. Okay, I was like, I didn't think we were going into Nevada, but we are. Okay. Switch over. Let's go better with that one. So, hope your Wednesday hump day is going well today, folks, as we get over that hump and start downward swing into the weekend. So, good times. Just keep our minds focused what's ahead, the weekend. And man, so all right, well, I am going to get Sim Toolkit off the map here. Pretty tired of seeing it, I'm sure you are. And kind of sit back, we'll kind of relax as we ease through the middle of the week and head for the weekend. folks. Couldn't resist. You know, I don't like saying this much, but I kind of wished I hadn't jumped the gun and went to 06 like I did. But an interesting thing, if you haven't noticed right here, smoke ring. Interesting. That's the guys at Laminar watching you. No, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta get a satellite photo up. Hang on a second, folks. I had to do this yesterday. I don't like doing this. But I gotta get satellite photos. Because we're producing way too much clouds, I think, up here. Just trying to make sure I get the best quality. I was afraid of that. There are... Here, let me, like I did yesterday, folks. Hang on, let me set the stage right for this. Little disappointed. Alright, as you can see out the aircraft, we're about right in here, folks. Hopefully this clears up pretty quick. Actually, we're over here. So yeah, we're running up the lee side here of the mountains, and I don't know where all this cloudiness is coming. I mean, it's not on the satellite. Don't know, folks. Don't know what to tell you here. Little disappointed, though. So I don't know what they're picking up at Laminar to make this like it is. Now, it looks like we're I mean, it just, I don't get it. I don't know what is, but that is way overkill for what we just saw on that satellite. So I'd love to know what's triggering what in the sim, you know, what's downloading to then produce that in the sim. So But of all the things I was disappointed in, I also don't see the cirrus cloudiness that much. But then again, there wasn't really any depicted on that satellite, and we're over the desert. So. Don't know. That's kind of wishing I hadn't pulled the trigger like I did now. Oh, what's the issue? I'll show you. Here, here's the satellite of the area we're flying over. So as you can see, basically, the LA basin all the way up here, we should be totally clear skies. Yet you go outside, nowhere near that. Now we're starting to get into it, but I don't know what's triggering X-Plane in the download to do this. Like I was saying, I'm just kind of wishing I'd have remained patient and let the release client come out instead of the betas, because I know it's baby steps till we get to that release client. And you guys, then Laminar starts on 07. It's just, why are we getting such a heavy cloud deck in what should be clear? It is a desert reason. Oh well. Just things I pick up on, like that cloudiness I think is Int'l well, way too far behind us, but should be towards the coastline and on the coastline. Now we're fine. Just like to know what was triggering it behind us. I actually had rain before we started there in Ontario. We all know it never rains in Southern California. I mean, they even made a song about that. Yeah. I mean, little things like that. Just one of those things like, that's why a lot of times I don't go for the betas, because I know they're gonna have some issues, but man, I'm still waiting to see cirrus clouds. I remember with FSX and SIMs prior to it, the overkill, and that was because of an FSU IPC issue. If you check the box, if it was clear, it would show cirrus clouds. Overall, though, I can't complain. I do, but oh well. Folks, we'll see you after the break. Alright folks, welcome back. And we are pressing on. As we're over that mountain range in Nevada, California, headed up towards Reno. Can't tell if this is all supposed to be California, because we're going to go on the other side of top. But overall, folks, good. I mean, I'll give the Rotate folks good flying aircraft. But just some quirks that the MD-11 itself presents, like dial-a-flap. Oh my gosh. Is that a body of water over there? Tahoe already, is it? I think it is. And then we're getting another band of clouds. I don't get it. I really just don't get, where are these clouds coming from? What is the trigger that would make a simulator pick them? Never know. Alright, well, we shall deal with whatever the weather the simulator puts forth. Although, now this is interesting. I have no idea what the heck that's supposed to be. Not the moon. I'd say it's on my screen, but I'm looking at 2 other screens and see it there too. I know it's some alien starship coming out of hyperspace into our atmosphere. That's the portal. Believe me, it'll be on the news tonight. I love, here in the States, all of a sudden, the fascination on these second tier, I'll call them, news channels, nationwide news channels. UFOs, why have they been hidden so long? You're just now finding out this. This has been going on since back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. So I just find it funny. Actually, folks, I'll give you an interesting story with UFOs. A lot of people don't know this, but if you were a pilot, air traffic controller back in the 60s, early 70s, Cold War heavily on, and you mentioned the word UFO, good chance you were grounded or pulled from the scopes. Permanently. Didn't matter if you're military, commercial airline pilot, same thing with controllers. Happened a lot, folks. Does make you wonder the why would they want them pulled, but it happened, folks. Way too much. Even a president said in his campaign he was going to get to the bottom of it when Project Blue Book was in full swing. When asked at the when he was on his way out, basically after Reagan trounced him. Right. Because he couldn't say. So, who knows? Take with it what you want. I just find it, here we go again. Now, the media. Oh my God, there's something called UFOs? Really? Day late and $1 short. Actually about $10 short in the medium. Alright, so where are we? Where is Waldo? Let's see if we can't discern without having to go to a map. got a Southwest Airlines aircraft off in the distance there somewhere. He's probably out of sight, but and out of contrail range. He actually was. Yeah, don't see any contrails. Anyway, doesn't have his takeoff or destination information. But anyway, we're north of Reno, that is for sure. These clouds and these shadows that shouldn't even be here are really throwing it off. All right, let's go to AVTAP. Wonder if that's supposed to be that lake. We're right up in the middle of nowhere, but that's the southwest. Interesting. I'm just looking at somewhere in case he happens to be listening in, and just don't see a depart or arrive. And that weird cloud formation ahead of us is still there. And let's see, I forgot I can do something here. Okay. And of course we could do that over here. Okay, we'll leave it just like that. We'll bump up the range. All right, so again, some interesting things we've learned, but so far this aircraft seems to be okay. Now, could it have been intercepted and corrected by the Beta 3 that came out right before I flew? That triggered immediately when I fired up X-Plane today? Could be. Who knows? By the way, Beta 2 did not trigger immediately either. I had to go in. Wait. Yeah, I did that. So maybe that's why Beta 3 triggered like it did. I don't know. So, but anyway, folks, we are high above Nevada. And pushing over here in a moment towards Oregon. And let's see where we stand. Okay, we're 300 miles out from top of descent. Yeah, drop that just a little. That's better. Okay. Well, I did something right this time, although I don't like... There we go. Get rid of that. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the arrival brief. Sim toolkit. Let's kind of pan out a little. Again, folks, I mean, crystal clear skies in this area. Is what it is. Let's go to NavGraph. There's Lakeview. I like keeping this in the sectional just so you get an idea of the topography you're flying over. My microphone is a bit low. Check, I haven't touched anything. Maybe that's better. See if I can get it up higher. Okay, let's see how that works out. Running a little higher. All right, and we'll also try a little lower on the music. Maybe that's what's going on. All right, so we got the NavGraph pulled up again, folks. Sim Toolkit's free. This portion, NavGraph, that's a payware item. But if you already update your FMCs for your various of aircraft, and nowadays with the new sims, you can update the sim data. So you're not in whatever came out. Like, hey, here's a classic example, folks. Okay, FSX came out in 2008, 6 or 8, I can't remember, it might have been 6. And we didn't have an update to that sim till 2020. Now granted, Prepared came out, but it does not update FSX. So you had the same nav data in FSX all of that time until Microsoft released a new one. So all the airspace changes, all the airways, all the approach departures, and all of that changed. And you didn't know it. Well, you did, but you couldn't do anything about it. There were ways around it, but again, the sim itself did not update its nav data. Today, X-Plane and Microsoft both update. Possibly different platforms. I don't know about the other side of the world, Microsoft, but we use NavGraph here at X-Plane. So you can physically update X-Plane to the current nav data cycle out there. On top of that, you're updating in your aircraft as well the FMCs to the current data so that you can fly easily through that. And then this program Charts came along, and with the ability to update. Now, why do I tout Charts? If you're going to stay in the US, I don't. Be silly, spend the money. All you're going to do is fly in the contiguous 48 states here and Alaska and Hawaii and Puerto Rico. It's kind of silly. You got them. All you got to do is hover over, right click, hover over, and look, there's your charts. Free. But if you're going to fly in Europe, Japan, the Far East, Australia, Africa, folks, finding those charts are hard to find. So that's why this program came along. Granted, you pay a little bit more, but you can tack it on to your NavGraph, which helps a little, and you're always up to date. So when that controller says fly blah blah blah, you can look up blah 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 instead of blah blah blee. So I again don't know anything about Xbox, folks. Sorry. Never had one, don't plan to ever have one. So I have not seen this in a long time, folks. OBS just disconnected. Holy crap. All right, folks, we're back. I think. Wow, we haven't had that in a while. Our internet decided to disconnect and reconnect. Knows why. Anyway, so let's get this done here while we possibly. So for the part you missed, folks, it is still recording on YouTube. So feel free to catch it on our YouTube channel. Here's a link. All right, so real quick. So anyway, NavGraph is a really good thing if you want to fly abroad. You have the charts all the time. They're up to date. And to me, better charts being Jepson. All right, so we're flying the Olympia 2 coming off Battleground, which is just north of Portland. So we'll fly basically, let's look up top. Tacoma International, which is SeaTac. We're not going to. We're going to BFI. So that we don't worry about. Most of this we don't worry about. However, transition 18,000 we do. Okay. Turbojets landing north. Okay. Seattle itself is landing north or south. So depending on what we're doing there, depends on what we set up for. And I'm just checking real quick. Oh, they had a wind shift. Great. We're going to be changing runways, I think. Oh, yippee-ki-yay. Hang on, let me try something here. Hey, that's not the cause. All right, I think I got one thing fixed here, folks. Oh, much better. You can see the edge of the screen now here. Okay, so looking at the ATIS for SeaTac that is up and running, they are landing north. So we have to fly 250, cross and maintain at 13,000. Olympia. Turbojets landing south, the 250 mark, and that comes at Arvid. Now, for us, we're still going to Fort. Here's BFI, just to give you an idea just how close. They are not controlled by SeaTac. However, they are controlled runway selection by SeaTac. Okay, so like I said, we're going to have to do a runway change here. So hang on as I see what I can do here. How much of this you'll be able to see. Okay. All right, so let's go to File. Okay, so we're going to have to do 3-2 left. All right, so we're going to switch runways here. Okay, and select our ILS. Okay. Actually, bear with me a second, folks. Oh, we don't. Okay, we have to do the ILS. Okay. The thing is, we got to cross over. Oh boy. All right, let's look at it. Okay, so we got to go to lacquer. 2,600 feet. Oh my goodness. Actually, it would be better to come over SeaTac. Well, we're going to have to do it, so this is going to be fun. And we may drop into his airspace anyway. Oh, no, I don't want 3-2 left. Yeah, I do. Okay, 3-2 left. Let's see. Insert if everything went as planned. Looks like it. All right. Okay, the good thing is we can be at or above 3,000 coming across and turn and sink in for the landing. So we should be okay and not having to talk to tower. Keyword should. Okay, saw what I did there, folks. Basically, I clicked 1-4 left, which was what we set up for. Star, made sure they were correct. Then over on this side, selected 3-2 right. Left, whichever it was, for the arrival. Inserted, and then we're verifying right now. Okay, so it's lacquer, Wayne, 3-2 left. So lacquer at or above 26, Dwayne 1,800 feet. So let's look at the chart. Do it in a couple of places here. Let me hide this. All right. So ATIS, approach, tower, ground. Our localizer is 110.9. I think, do I gotta insert that here? I don't think I do. I'll look to make sure. 315 for the final approach course. Dwayne at 1,800 feet, folks. If you look down here on the chart, got the what I call the Pirates X that marks the spot. Gotta be there on glide slope at 1,800 feet. Not to say we won't maybe intercept it out here, but we got to be on glide slope. Tracking inbound on the ILS. There it is again. Decision altitude 453 feet above sea level or 431 feet above the ground. Okay, so a little higher than what most expect on a Category 1 arrival. Here's your missed approach, which looks like just basically 8 miles off Seattle, hang a left, hang a right, follow 310 out to Lowell and hold at 6,000. Okay. So again, we're going to Lacquer, which is approximately a 10-mile final. Track it in. Okay, ILS 453, 431 at a mile and a quarter. So a lot higher than you're used to. All right, let me get in here. Okay, our weight. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Sim Toolkit real quick. We're going to bring in Tomcat. Take a look at the data from it. Go to the landing page. Verify 3-2 left. Landing mode will say auto. We'll say medium brakes for now. Do the update. New flaps 35. Alright, so we're going to land, folks. Reference speed's 159. We're going to land hot. And 164. How much run? Wow, 3,200 feet if we had it right. Thankfully, a 10,000 foot runway. Okay, and so there's our numbers there. Okay. These more front and center here. Looks pretty good to me. Of course, the only thing it doesn't say is distances needed, but that's good for me. All right, so we are set up. Hey, look, we have a clear sky finally. Holy mackerel. Still got this weird thing in the sky, but hey, much better. Finally, perf. 139 miles. So let's start our descent checks. Okay, EAD is clear. Windshield and anti-ice. Let me see what we set up here. Oh, we didn't set anything. Okay. And descent set. Alright, so all we got to do now is get to that point, and then from there, see how we're doing here. Sure we're still on. Hey, we're still trucking on. Oh, I lost that Southwest aircraft wherever it went. That or he zoomed ahead. No, I don't know where he went. All right, folks, so we're on our way. Sorry for a little bit of trouble there. Second stream. Haven't had that in a long time, folks. Hopefully that's not going to start really happening a lot. So, looking at the rest here, yeah, we should be clear skies all the way in. Mark your calendars. That's an oddity for Seattle. And it looks like I may be the only one up and flying right now with Mac Air. Huh. Alright. Well, like I said, folks, we're continuing on. I forgot if and what it shows at top of descent. So we'll set all of that up. I know that doesn't do anything, but hey, who knows? We're starting to get into volcano country. Oh, that's something we forgot to look at. back in the wintertime, folks, down there, Southern California, up through the Sierras where we were, heavily inundated this year with snow. To the point that in May, they still had lots of places just becoming accessible. I saw a post on Facebook. Of course, you know, that is the most authoritative news source out there. Hands down better than CNN, Fox. MSNBC hasn't yet become a news agency. And was talking about in July, people starting to finally get out of their homes. I think that was a little extreme. I don't think it went that long, but I don't live, folks. These people saw massive amounts of snow, record-breaking snow levels, and in many areas. And oh yeah, it was, but they were in a massive drought. Their reservoirs and aqueducts were running really rough. I mean, folks, that's where a lot of the produce in the U.S. comes from, and I don't know how much of that goes abroad. So to Europe and Japan and all of those places, down into South America, over into the Asian countries, I don't know. So that was incredible. And to get that much snow, which then when it melts, what it does to the water tables and levels and aqueducts is unbelievable. So hopefully that's really helping out there. But it's been over 20 years since I drove out there. The reason what triggered me on that was seeing the snow here. And yes, those are volcanoes. All right, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the ride up. Hey, love for you to click follow and be a part of the family here at Flying with Mike. That way you get an email when we go live. Our next stream, by the way, all, God willing, is Friday. And just to give you a heads up, that will be a flight that I've had planned for about a month now, maybe a month and a half. Just haven't been able to fit it in the way I wanted to. And it is going to be from Charlotte to Philadelphia in the A330. I've got written down X Works, but it's actually the default A330. So that ought to be a blast. We're going to go back in time a little bit with US Airways and have a great flight, enjoy the new scenery up in Philadelphia. That's Friday. And then we'll take a break for the weekend, come back in on Monday with a flight. Haven't fully decided how this flight's going to happen. So that's kind of marked as St. Louis to Baltimore. Stay tuned. And then Salzburg, Austria to Manchester on Tuesday of next week. Then 2 more flights next week. You can go over to Discord, look at the flight schedule, or look at the about down below this screen and see what's going on the rest of the week. The following week, I will be on vacation, so there won't be any streams whatsoever. A much needed vacation, not from streaming. This is something I actually enjoy. But a much needed vacation from work and some soul searching. So but anyway, folks, we are on our way, and again, we'd love you to hit follow, and all that does, folks, it's free. Nothing comes out of your accounts to follow us. If you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. They both do exactly the same thing in slightly different ways. Twitch, you get an email when we go live. Forgive me if you get one if we drop off the internet like we just did about 5-10 minutes ago and come back on. Forgive me for that one, folks. I am at the mercy of Charter Communications, and that's all I'm going to say about it. But YouTubers, when you click subscribe, it will, and you click notify, it gives you an email when we post a new video. So that way you can go and look at it. Now, if you want to take it a step further, I am not monetized over in the YouTube world. Sorry. Just not enough subscribers and stuff to meet the algorithms. But in Twitch, well, we are an affiliate. That's what last month was all about. Viewer Appreciation Month. Appreciating you, the viewers. If you want to go that next step and subscribe, click subscribe here in Twitch, which would then allow you to provide us the cash we use to buy new aircraft for the sim or sceneries, sometimes even new hardware. Don't really have a need for hardware, but you never know. But I just want to say again, thank you to everyone that's part of Flying with Mike, and be it those who step in, step out, those who follow, to those who hear my voice right now and subscribe. And by the way, if you do subscribe, it is ad-free viewing. Then that's one benefit of it. All right, and I see that we have gone to a commercial break, so we'll be right back in 1 minute and 2 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. It was just as we went into that rude interruption by commercials, talking about the ways you can support the stream here. You can simply just by watching is great support, folks. Thank you. But if you want to become a follower, click follow here on Twitch. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Click the notifies. That way you're notified Twitch when we go live on our streams. YouTubers, that's how you see us live. Come on over here to Twitch when you see we're streaming. YouTubers, when you click subscribe, you'll get notified when a new video comes out. That's all it does. Twitch, all it does when you click follow is give you an email letting you know, hey, Flying with Mike is live. If you want to go the next step, and I don't push this, folks, but you're more than welcome to hit that subscribe button. That allows us, with the money that comes in from that, to help us buy software that rotate that you see us flying today, the TOLUS aircraft you've seen, Fearless last week. All of those were bought with the money that subscribers provide to the stream, and it's much, much appreciated. It humbles me to no end that people support the channel in that way, and it is amazing. Thank you. So there's your ways you can support the channel, folks. But I thank each and every one for what you're able to do and how you support us. Folks, it means the world to me. So,
You love me! You really love me!
oh, and Insuic 68,
just subscribed.
thank you so much for a subscription. We sure appreciate it. And you will now get to enjoy ad-free viewing. And I can hear him go, oh, thank goodness. No, that is a perk, folks, if you do subscribe. Ad-free viewing. So, but Insuic, thank you for the subscription. We do appreciate you and appreciate all the input, all the input that you give here and help me out. Sure is much appreciated. All right, and with that, folks, it is time to figure out. We're 20 miles out. I figured we were getting very close. All right. Let's see. Can he get it right? I usually don't, folks. So let me get my chart up here. All right, landing north. 13,000 at Olam. Okay. Make sure to be there. That should trigger the descent. And it is. I did it right for the first time, folks. It didn't take me hunting and pecking and figuring out what the heck. Looked like a little chicken up here, hunting and pecking on the ground for that seed. All right, so let's see. Saw how that worked, folks? See, it's that little arrow that takes this lever, your speed brakes down and up. And this hand would be the one to arm it. Okay, while we're at it, let's go ahead and put that to medium. Okay. Let's watch our descent here and see how things work out. But wow, what a, other than the little weather issues that I've seen along the way here, and again, I don't know how Laminar takes this packet of weather that downloads and how it discerns from it what to show on the screen. Because obviously it was not correct down in many of the flights we've been doing. But yesterday was Bravo 2, today is Bravo 3. Beta 3 for this new 06. So...
Portland traffic, Giant 32 heavy, taxiing runway 28 left via Foxtrot, Charlie, Charlie 8.
So, I don't know how that works. So, but overall, things are, I mean, I can't really overly complain other than flight factor problems. That'll just have to work out with updates there, updates in flight factor, till they get back to the copaceticness they were in 05. Hey, we're about 15 or so minutes out. And, we're about to go over Portland. Let's see how it looks at altitude. Oh, that looks really nice. Now, rotate, I think the contrails, now that, you know, that could actually be an X-plane thing, but the contrails look a little heavy. I don't know, maybe that is what they look like at altitude. Let's see, we could always do this. I mean, okay, that doesn't look too bad from the ground. Yeah, that, you know, I may have to do that one day. Developer, let's find out what little nugget we got. Yeah, we might have to. Yeah, I've always just been curious, and it goes a long way back, folks, even with the Microsoft days I flew, and always wondered where they got it, and then conversely, when I switched over
Portland traffic, Giant 32 heavy, lifting up and taking off runway 28 left. Portland traffic.
How Active Sky then does its thing to make it look as good as it does sometimes. Just always, that was one of those, well, there's a lot to the sim that intrigues the heck out of me. But that's one of the biggies, the weather. How they do that. It's a show out there, I think they call it. How they do that. My granddaughter's language, by the way. How they do that. How'd you do that? Some volcanoes again in the distance. Coming around. In volcano country up here, folks. Just remember this if you didn't know it. Seattle was built on a lahar. Runoff of lava into the Puget Sound created the basin that Seattle sits on. Okay, how we doing to reach 23? Okay, we're reaching 23. We've got to get to 13. It's got to be close. Man, they got a lot of bugs at altitude here at X-Plane. Look at that windscreen, how dirty it's gotten. According to this, we should hit 13,000 about right here, and then we'll begin our descent to join the ILS. And I think this would be time for me to bring up the standalone version of charts. You can put charts to Sim Toolkit like I did, but you can also download the desktop version, which I also have, and it will just basically whatever you've put on that open one, it'll be available to you on this one. That'd be a 2 task group. Oh no, we haven't. Oh. But you can get an idea of what we're doing here, folks. And so what my game plan is a 070 off of Fort, head out, and once we're clear of SeaTac, then we'll make our turn and descend. Is SeaTac up still? It's not. All right. It's to me there. Okay, so not too much to worry about, but we'll make that turn. And then set up, say, let's see, 320-ish. $315-ish. Yeah, we'll kick in on a nice 45-degree intercept angle to come in.
Stabilizer motion.
Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and kill the music here. Come up here.
Altitude.
Okay, and our restriction 250. Okay, and then next up will be 3,000 for the ILS. Okay. Okay, and we should be making that turn right about now. Okay.
Stabilize your motion.
All right, folks, we are beginning our approach. All right, so again, EAD looks good. Data's checked and set. And shield ice set. Descent, prepare for landing, announced, DH set. No, it's actually not. Check that. 4:30. My bad. Go. And okay. Okay, so we are in our descent. We have everything set. DH set, seatbelts on, altimeters have not been set. Okay, Sky Vector says VFI 3005. Okay. And as we're getting in closer now, Arvid, I want to pull us back to 210, 220. Is there any restrictions on Fort? Okay, we are set. And make our turn.
Altitude.
Okay, folks, we are beginning our approach. Believe that is Seattle right there. And just mind you, our airport's like right up there. So there's SeaTac. And then right just, I mean, we're talking 20 miles, if that. So okay, 110.9, 110.9, 315, good enough for me. And up we go. Not yet. This is what we're going to be doing. We're going to vector to there and get a notch, get our slats going. Now let's turn.
Stabilizer motion.
So 162.
$2,500.
1 Okay, up ahead should be our runway. See it yet. Okay, on glide slope. And I now have the runway in sight. Go flaps 35. Okay, let's arm the spoilers again, folks. Oh, they never were de-armed. Okay. And flaps, altimeters. One last check here on 3005. EAP, FCP all set and ready. Actually, no, it's not. This approach is 315. Okay. Next approach altitude 6,000. All right.
Autopilot. 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 Autopilot.
Okay, we've got full control. Final approach. Boeing field traffic, UPS 1000, 2 mile final, 32 left, full stop.
Glide slope, 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 glide slope.
Runway.
200.
Retard.
30, 20, 10, 10.
No, they didn't deploy again, but got lucky and didn't take a tour like we did at St. Louis. Alright, hang on a second, folks. That gives me just enough time here. Where go for this. All right, let me see if I can get some. Don't have it. Okay. I really thought I saw it marked on here, yes, Parks, and I was wrong. Okay. Disarm. Flaps are up. Get our lights off. All right, folks, we're taxiing in. I'm going to guess where we see FedEx is where I'm going. UPS does go here, folks. FedEx goes over to SeaTac. Now I'm starting to see yellow lines. I just saw that one and made a turn. Welcome to Boeing Field, folks. All right. Clear, 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 clear. Click, click, click. Okay. All right. Welcome again, folks, into SeaTac. Hope you all enjoyed. Forgot to hit that. Dang it. All right. Well, hopefully we'll be able to do a rewind and you all will be able to see that landing because that looked pretty good on my part. Commercials. All right. While we wait for them to end here, and it's like they're perfectly timed too. They know right when I'm getting ready to land and turn on. All right, let's see here. Spoilers, flaps, radar, auto brakes are off, stab trim. Three units. Holy mackerel. Okay, and exterior lights. Let's see where we stand now. All of them off. APU, let's get it going. And tail fuel quantity checked. Okay. All right, we'll give the APU a couple seconds to spool up. That'll give everyone a chance to get out of the commercial break. Welcome to Boeing Field, folks. If everything goes as I hope, we'll get to watch the replay if you all missed the landing. Because that loose nut here forgot to hit skip commercials. And, oh well. He gets what he gets. So let's get up here. We're just waiting for it to become available. And then we can start shutting down. However, in the meantime, we can go to standby. Almost. Come on, APU. Wish we had a, you know, instead of me saying I wish, we might have it. Almost there. There it is. I don't want to click it because I'm scared it'll drop. So, all right. It probably would. So we're going to just reverse the way we started. 2, 1. Three. And they're on. APU's on. Good. Seatbelts. And exterior lights, doors may be open, emergency power switches off, and all of that good stuff. All right. So welcome in, folks. Right now, we're going to do a quick, well, let me first close out with Mac Air and get this pirate filed. Just want to make sure I see it over there. Also kind of curious what they set it at. 308 feet a minute they got us at. Okay. All right, I'll buy that. All right, so let's pull up Sim Toolkit and see what differences we have. Bear with me a second. Okay, let me get an
Seattle
after.
traffic, Alaska 1982. We're going to be on the about 5 mile mark for what's Seattle.
Okay, so all right, there's some toolkit, folks, for you. And as you can see at the top of the list, 286 feet a minute they recorded us at. Here's how our flight looked. Pretty close to it. 837 miles. Yep. 2 hours. Yep. And landing speed of 158, 160 is what we were shooting for. So we did pretty good there, folks. Full landing report. This is what I like looking at. What this tells me is how I did number-wise. How did I flare and all of that good stuff. This shows me where I landed. Okay. Now, real world, you're not supposed to land in here, folks. Sim, I don't care. But the real world, you're not supposed to land in that displaced threshold. You can roll off at the end into it if you need to, but actual physical touchdown should be past this line with the arrows, going that way. We landed, it looks like 1,720 or 30 feet down the runway. Outstanding position on a 10,000 foot runway. A foot off the center line. Again, that's really good. And our heading just off by really a hair. Overall, number-wise, visually, it looks good. All right, let's prep this to see if we'll be able to watch it. Coming off VATSIM. If you don't, folks, don't worry. It will kick you off. Just so you know. VATSIM really frowns upon having you going back and forth on their radars. Okay, so let me just look around the airplane. And again, FedEx uses this airport, folks. I'm sorry, correction. UPS uses this one. FedEx is at SeaTac. It's not to say you won't see a UPS aircraft there, but they do come here, much like LA. FedEx is in LAX, might see a UPS on the other side of the airfield, but they actually go to Ontario for the LA region. Okay, so here, go to flight. Work, please. Okay. We'll take it from here. And let me get some good music here. And so you told me the music was a little loud last time, so we'll see if we can't improve on that. There's SeaTac over there, folks. See the relationship. also doesn't show flap position on here. That stinks. Wow, really, that looked really good, folks. Let's head out a little bit. As I call it, the Hawker 125 viewpoint, and just for him, a nice screenshot savvy approach. All right, let's take a look at it from some of our passengers' point of view. As we come in here, Boeing Field, as you would imagine, is home to one of the Boeing plants. So, not sure what's actually made here, but yeah, there is some manufacture here. All right, folks, I can't really see any problems here. And a unique look here. I think the terminal's like right here somewhere. All right, let's see how it looks from the tower. And then we'll kind of call it a day, folks. But again, my runway heading was busy looking at the scene, so didn't see you come in. All right, well, let's kind of fast forward here. We didn't look at this angle. Oh, Insuik, thank you for the gift of fly runway heading. Thank you, sir, so much for that. Welcome in, fly runway heading. Hope you enjoy. And we're going to go one more time here. We're going to take a look from that tower from about right here. Scrape the tail. Okay, good. For a second there, I thought I scraped the tail. Oh, thank you so much, sir. Man, love the generosity here, folks. All right, folks. Well, welcome to Boeing Field and another end to a fantastic stream. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for supporting the stream. And coming up as we watch the aircraft roll on down the runway, Friday, God willing, we will be flying the A330-300, the default aircraft. I believe there's some updates that came to it via X-Works. I don't know the whole relationship there. We're going to fly it from Charlotte, an old U.S. Airways route. Charlotte to Philly, and then from Philly it would go on to Europe. So hope to see you all then. And for now, folks, let me bring her over to the ramp. I wish you all a great hump day Wednesday night. Be safe. Tomorrow is Friday Eve, Thursday. Hope you all have a great day. God bless you all as I'm getting the chocks. Well, he says that and screws up. Getting the chocks. And the aircraft opened back up. And I hope you all enjoy. We'll see you all Friday. And hope you all enjoy your time today and tomorrow. God bless.